Welcome. Another episode of Exhausted is here upon us. It's me, Cameron Biggs. If you're new, if you don't know what I'm doing, if you're probably like, this isn't the normal podcast layout, it's kind of dark, it's kind of just in the middle of the evening. I don't got my mic set up. It's because this is like afterthoughts. So, Exhausted, episode 2. It's like, what time is it? 10, like a little bit past 10:30. We just got some things to talk about because there's been some interesting things going on amongst the car brands and people and companies. And I just want to speak my thoughts on it because it's foolishness at its highest level. Okay. At the highest level. Let's just jump into I want to talk about Jaguar because fire everybody at Jaguar. I don't even understand how we have gotten here when it comes to car brands. Just like Stellantis, just like Carlos, just like what they did with Dodge, just like all of these things that I'm saying are not unseen. If you just read the comments, you would know, hey, whatever you planning to do, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna fly. Let me give you a perfect example. Jaguar. The other day, they released their logo, right? And I was gonna actually do a little video like this, exhausted, because I saw that logo and what they rolled out as a commercial for the introduction of what the new Jaguar is gonna be. I immediately was like, this is absolutely stupid, because where is the car? And guess what? We got the car today, and like, it's you really got to go out of your way. You got to really go out of your way to do some of the stuff that they've done. Jaguar rolls out this ad. It's fashion models. It's about being bold. It's about being different. It's about not conforming. It's about being your true self, true identity. And the entire time, I'm looking for where the car is or where the car company is being represented. There's no representation of a car company. It's a representation of an idea of being so different. And I joked and said, hey, at no point in time were we not buying Jaguars or buying Jaguars because we thought they were that different. It was just make good cars. Very simple concept. The problem that you have, you want to solve it. The problem you might have as a Jaguar person or as Jaguar the company is selling cars. So to solve that, you make better cars. It, that was it. Here they roll out their concept today. I'm going to throw it on the screen. I want you to look at this and I want you to tell me that this is what they've been sitting on for all this time. I'm not even an automotive designer. I don't draw. I barely can. This is ridiculous. This is trash. I'm going to say it as it is. This blocky thing this is not design. We are now letting roadblocks and polygons decide this is a Lego set, and not even a good one. Not even the Technic. This is the Lego set that you see in Target that's like $9.99. And it kind of looks like a McLaren Senna, but there's a better one that costs like $400 that really looks like one. But we're going to try to get the cheap one just because we don't want to spend the funds. And it's basically blocks. That's what this looks like. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. And not in a good way, because I can use that term both ways. This is garbage. Okay. Especially considering the fact that Jaguar is rolling this out and saying this is the beginning of a new era. And the reason why I say this is trash and why I say it's a waste of time, because none of this is realistic. Meaning, it's not coming out looking like this. This is a design study. And I use design very loosely. This is a study to see what could possibly work. And the fact that this is what they rolled out after that whole campaign, it almost is like they think people are dumb. Look at this car. And you tell me that that actually signifies some type of future at a car company, a luxury car company, that it actually gives you some confidence in what's coming in the future. Let me read what they said. I'm gonna read on my phone real quick. It's called the Type Zero or Type 0000. Okay, this is what who is it? The chief exterior designer, which is a hilarious term, a hilarious position to have, considering I'm looking at something that my 3-year-old could draw. Now here we go. Type 00 commands attention. Like all the best Jaguars of the past, this is what the chief exterior designer Constantino Segue Gilabert, if I said his name correctly, hopefully I didn't butcher it because that'd be disrespectful, said in a statement. It's a dramatic presence channeling a unique spirit of British creativity and originality. It celebrates art and embodies the essence of exuberant modernism. That right there, that last sentence explains to you how out of touch they are with making a car. Let me repeat what that said at the end, okay? Because it's foolishness. It celebrates art and embodies the essence of exuberant modernism. That is a word salad for I don't know what I'm doing, okay? It's a dumb statement because it doesn't say anything. Exuberant modernism? So what would that be? Would that be boxy? Would that be giant grills in the front? Would that be an interior that has nothing in it? Look at this interior. That's not even minimalist. This is nothing. There's a wood plank down the center. There's a steering wheel. There's nothing else. This is unrealistic. This is not a real car. This is not helping Jaguar. This guy said exuberant modernism. This is what they say when they design something that doesn't look good. But when I say these words, exuberant, modernism, essence, creativity, the pure feel, like all these words make you believe like, oh, maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just not in tune with the art and the design. And I just don't get it. But maybe I'll get it later. No, you got it. It looks like trash. Okay, it's a box. This man's saying words to get you to believe that he was sitting there. If he was sitting there with his pen and paper for that long, I would challenge him to say, hey, how about you stay there a little bit longer? Use up a little bit, add some curves. Because if I remember correctly, Jaguar is based off a cat. You ever seen a Jaguar run? You can see the curves. You can see the fluidity. You can see the elegance. You can see the power. What do I see when I look at this? I see Cruella DeVille. she definitely gonna drive this. She whipped this around the new 101 Dalmatians with ease, and it would look fire. You put this in a Penguin, the next Penguin season, yeah, that'd be dope. Let Batman and some villain drive around in that car. Perfect. Give it to Marvel or DC. It makes perfect sense as a movie car. Now let's get back to reality of selling cars for Jaguar. And how is this going to be the way that you start? Let me continue off with what they said because they had some more. What you're seeing today is a manifestation of the brand through into the product vision because we're doing that in a parallel while also creating and translating that into production. We've created this vision, but at the same time, we're also delivering working automobiles. Again, a word salad. See, when they start talking all this about manifestation of the brand with the vision of productivity and translating to the exuberant modernism of automobile transportation, you see what I just did there? That's all just big words in a word salad. It means absolutely nothing. What I've said is that, hey, I hope you girls don't pay too close attention because we just rolled out a box on wheels and we know good and well that this is not coming to production. But we got to do something because the shareholders are looking at us like we just spent how much money? We just brought down our entire social media. We don't have a single image of any car that you can actually go buy from Jaguar right now. Instead, we're rolling out this car that anybody looks at, they're going to say, this got the aerodynamics of a milk crate. Like, I can see it overheating. One giant grill, and obviously it's electric, so it ain't going to overheat. So we got an all electric thing, and they talk about the stats, over 400 miles, horsepower, 0 to 60s. That's cool. It's all theory because the car isn't here. And the idea they have is that they're going to start running this as limited production luxury cars to redefine who Jaguar is. This is absolutely ridiculous. Again, I'm using ridiculous in a bad way this time. It's asinine. It's insane. It doesn't make any sense because what Jaguar wanted to do, let me say this. I suspect that they want to sell some cars. I can promise you that this is not how we start selling cars. Nobody's coming to buy this. This is not what was on the list of things if you were looking for a luxury car. You have BMW, Mercedes, Audi. You got Lexus. You have Porsche. You have a variety of luxury brands that Jaguar was competing with. They've made XJs. They did the F-Type. It wasn't like they've been, totally just kicking the bucket when it comes to cars. They've made some good choices. They've made some good cars. Now, has it been a resounding effort, knock it out the park every time? No. I mean, you can look at things like the X-Type back in the day. But they still had something. Back when Ian Cullen was designing the XK, the coupe, that thing looked as good as the Aston Martin. So we had a time when the design made sense, when they were still making good cars. The F-Type, I would say, was one of the best ones at the end. Yes, it's more of a sports car. But still, if you took that idea and try to expound upon it, how do we end up as a refrigerator on wheels? Because I don't get it. This is a chest freezer with wheels on it. This doesn't look good. It looks aggressive, but it doesn't look good. And what I mean by aggressive is the fact that it's so blocky. Yes, it's low slung. Yes, the roof line is very low. So you do, like I said, Corolla DeVille. You get this low slung coupe thing that looks like it came out of a movie. So on one hand, you can see it. I'm sure you saw it in black and a dark color, but it was kind of dope. It was kind of cool. But what I'm saying is these type of cool concepts, them selling 3 or 4 or 5 of them, let's say they sell 100 of them, isn't going to save the company. It's not going to save the jobs of people working at a dealership who sell Jaguars, who build them in the factory. None of that is helping them. They're looking at this from their point of view saying, nobody's going to buy these cars anymore because we have nothing to sell. Let's see what else they talked about. Said Jaguar said it won't be talking about heritage as much as it previously did, as the well-heeled customers it'll be courting don't care. The company expects prices will double generally, and the vehicles will get back to the more exclusive era they had in the 1960s. So what they want to do is they no longer care about their previous heritage, which is hilarious, considering the fact that that's where you got your fans from. That's where you got your pedigree. That's where you got your history. So we're going to toss that out the side. We're going to roll in some fashion models. We're going to roll in a new campaign. We're going to roll out this boxy concept car. We're going to say it's all electric, right on the heels of every single manufacturer saying, hey, we're no longer going all EV. Here comes Jaguar saying, hey, we're going to do away with our entire history. Forget about everything. Forget about the E-Type, which put us on the map. Forget about the XJ220. Forget about the F-Type. Forget about the XJs. Forget about the V12s. Forget about it all. And get on board with this thing. Oh, my goodness. It's just so funny because you already can see what's going to happen. This is not going to sell. Because when they do roll it out in whatever production form they do, it's 100,000. They're already saying they're trying to up the prices. They think that it's a viable option to sell 100 to probably $200,000 cars instead of selling a list of cars from different price points. Let's say from 40,000 to 100,000. I know Cadillac has their line of exclusive, really expensive cars they have coming out the electric that are like 300,000. Cadillac also has an entire lineup of cars that they can rely on to be the bread and butter of the company. Jaguar, on the other hand, I don't know what happens to the other lineup. They're not talking about it so much that I would assume that they're going to stop doing production on a lot of those models. But they're still there. You can go get an F-Pace and you can go get an E-Pace and you can still go get some of those other cars. But you wouldn't know that if you were just brand new saying, "Who? What's a luxury car company I can go buy right now? Let me go search on Instagram." You hit Jaguar, you're going to be like, what's this? This isn't real. Why are we doing this? And again, like I said, when they start putting out word salads of just words saying exuberant modernism, and they start talking about the essence of what it used to be and trying to bring back that essence and creativity and all this stuff, all you hear and all you see is a car company not trying to sell a car. Because when you want to sell a car, it's very simple. You break out a car that actually can be put into production right now, that has options, that looks like it can actually be in somebody's garage, in a driveway, going down the street, that doesn't cost some insane amount of price, especially considering that you don't have the pedigree to start charging 200,000 if that's what they're aiming for this. That's what it looks like. This looks like $150,000 car just based on the fact that that's what they're saying they're gonna charge. They're like, hey, we're trying to double it. Whatever we did before, add another on top. And that's Jaguar. This is their new vision. This car. What does it mean? What it'll do? I have no idea. The range and all that, like 400 miles and a horsepower and a speed, to me, the electric components of it are easy because those they're so simplified now and so just run of the mill. It's much, much harder to make an engine and drivetrain and driving dynamics. That's all I got. All I know is that Jaguar, Dodge, Stellantis, Carlos, all these companies are just showing like, hey, we don't really know what we're actually doing. Considering the fact that you have, and which is funny because you have a consumer base, you have feedback, you have data to say, hey, this is what we want, this is what we would like. But no, we're going to let somebody jump around and give you 17 different ways to say, I don't know what I made and I don't know what's about to happen next by tricking you into believing that this is the next level of creativity and maybe you're just not in the same realm of artistic expression to understand that this is the future. Man, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let people, somebody's gonna like it. So even though I don't like it, somebody's gonna like it. Because that's just how it goes. It's the way of the world. Somebody's gonna look at this and be like, this is absolutely everything I've ever always wanted. I'll still drive one. They probably would never invite me now talking like this. They're gonna be like, you know what? No, you stay exactly where you are, okay? You're nobody. You don't understand. But that's exhausted. Episode 2. I'll see y'all around. I'm sure there's something else that's going to pop up in the automotive space I'm going to have to just speak my mind on. Until then, take care. Have a good night.